Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowTown here in Cities Skylines, where last episode guys, we finally expanded a little bit more to our fishing industry. We added in fish markets, fish factories, just more ways in which we can turn a higher profit off those pesky fish we are catching out of the sea. Now we did have a few little issues because now we set up that little fishing industry, we kind of created two little outlet roads and inlet roads to the edges of the region, which bring its own traffic that kind of tears through as normal. Now, that's not a problem because we got many things that we can do to kind of solve it. But one of the issues that we did have from the get-go was that weird roundabout junction that I tried to implement, which didn't really go too well. Now, I have solved it. I did say last episode I'll try and fix it for this episode. Now, as much as I like roundabouts, when you got like such a huge amount of traffic as like what we did have, roundabouts are not the answer. So I did a very basic kind of junction, which has worked wonders. So we'll show you that in just a moment too. Today I want to try and expand the highways as well to kind of get that final bit of highway that we have left out to the edge of the region. Then we can hopefully claim that there is no more highways to build in SnowTown right now, and also create a bypass for that fishing traffic that we do have coming through. Now boys, before we jump into this, if you are enjoying SnowTown and want to see more, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new in here, then make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when that next episode does come out. But we are back, boys. We are back right now. So let me show you what I've done. Right, this is what I've done right now. I've kind of done a very loose version of like this system that I like to do. You see, it's beautiful. Now the difference is I've done it on one road, where normally I do this system on two highways that are separated. This is what I've kind of created. It looks a little bit funky just here, but I've kind of got it down perfect. Well, how it works is this is a 2-lane it's a 4-lane road basically. So when it goes to here and these guys are turning on, obviously from when it turned off there, I've put down these asymmetrical roads where there's 1 lane, 2 lanes. So these are 2 lanes that then divert off into singular lanes, that when they go back on into that single lane there's 2 lanes here because these guys turn off and it goes back into 2. It's quite confusing, but the lane management is perfect right now. And that math, I got it down pretty damn sweet, boys. Which, look at this, the traffic flows wonderfully. The only thing I had to do differently was up the speed limits, because when you're using all these different asymmetrical roads and whatnot, they're not highway roads, they're just normal roads. So I had to up the speed limit to make it feel like they're on a highway. Now, what I did, this right now, right, I haven't upped the speed limit on this road because I've upgraded this to be 4-lane all the way down, but I've kind of done that on purpose for now. Because at some point in the future, I kind of want to sort that road that heads out with some kind of bypass or whatnot. But what I did just for now, just to kind of ease it a tiny bit, I did this little diversion road that kind of skips these guys doing a right on the junction, just to kind of, you know, slightly help them. But I want to do something here, but I'll work on this when we kind of, you know, build a small town on this little peninsula, so I can maybe implement something a little bit different. But what we're going to take a look at first then is the bypass for this road that kind of goes out. Now, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as the other one. The only issue we have is this little T-junction here as they come in to the little fishing section just there. We have a little T-junction there, which is not as bad as that one. I don't know why, because this one's got like factories on. So I'm not too sure about that one. And yeah, that's my only really issue. But what I want to do is when I can completely change this little section, I want this road to completely bypass over, go over this section too as another bridge, which is eventually going to connect to this highway, which I want this highway to bend all the way up. We're going to reclaim the land here, and it's going to exit the region just there. So hopefully I can take a little bit of heat off these junctions by having an actual proper highway connection added in. So we're going to see how that goes. Now, I've got to do the old task right now. Now, it kind of annoys me doing this because I always forget what my measurements are, my lengths are, but I've gotta hold on. Is that the right road? Yeah, I've got to now figure out with my parallel roads. I should have written this, wrote this down so I knew what the lengths were. I got to figure this out so I can get the parallel road system going down. Why is it not loading up? Where's my parallel roads, boy? That's not a parallel road. Right, get rid of you. Right, boom. Parallel road. Where are you? Why is it not popping up? There we go. There we go. It's just the control P to bring the shortcut up right now. So we've got the 3-lane road selected, and this is the thing. I can't remember what it was, but in my head I have 64. Okay, 64 added in. Toggle reverse direction. Let me just... Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Don't tell me your boy has got that perfect. Also, that side of the highway is slightly lower than this side of the highway. But I don't care right now because that... Holy moly, Seniac! See, I knew. I had 64 in my head. And now I know why. Now I know why. So 64 is for that section. But this obviously it's going to start bending. It's going to bend with this road. So now I understand what that is. Let me delete back to there. Right, is that definitely 2 different heights? It is. So we're going to have to bring that one slightly up, or it could be that one slightly too high. The fact that that kind of ramps up, and so does that. Yeah, I think that one's the high one. So let me first go with this road. One with the trees. And, okay, we don't want to parallel that. No. Wait, is it on? Okay, bye. So I'll bring that out by 10 there. So this road, let me just do this very loosely, then we'll add a nice little bend to it. I want it to kind of run like that, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw a bend just here. And let me see what this kind of angle is, because obviously it all determines on what I do with the other one. 20 by 24 is what we're going to be looking at. So then back to the highway style road, bring up the parallelness. Excuse me, there we go. And if we work with... Oh, that's the point first, hold on. Let me get the right height. So if I go there and then bring that across to there, that should be all good. Bring that up to there, and then hopefully, what was it, a 20 by 20? Almost. 18. It could be 17. No, it could be 19. That is completely off right now, isn't it? Can I undo that? No, I can't. Right, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe I just don't put that little section there and I just kind of bend it around as normal. So, the other one I did 20. I did 20 by 24, but obviously it's not going to be the same. So if I do a 16 by 16, and then what if I ran, then, no, running straight at that road is not going to solve anything. So if I went to there. Right, I pushed it further back so I can kind of line up the angle a little bit better. Oh, boys, what is going on right now? So if I go for the full 20... 18 by 18. And then we kind of whack it straight a bit. Nah, it's top heavy, isn't it? It is. Oh, I did add a bit there because that's the connection in there. It's all because this is slightly off. That's the whole reason. It's because that road is one size 20 by... If I had it both equally, we are able to get it done a whole lot easier. So let me just go with this first then. Let me turn off the parallelness. And right, let me bring that back down to here. So let me go by another 10. So that will be 20 by 21. I just want a straight 20 by 20. That's what I'm going for, right? 20 by 20. And then we're pretty much straight back into it. So with that logic, right, it happened there, didn't it? Hold on. There we go. So with that logic, we got to here. And then can we do the same with a 20? See, it doesn't really work the same for us, does it? So if I go down here instead first. Now, what is our distance here? 18. Is 18 by 18 our distance? Do you know what? I'm going to settle for that because I can't be bothered to argue anymore with those bends. I really can't. So let's turn the parallel back off for just a hot minute. Get that going straight down to there. Straight down to there so I can follow it through. And this is literally going to then go up to here. Now, once it gets to the end of here, I'm not going to have that separation gap. We're going to bring them back together is what I want to do. So let's reclaim this land and I'll come from this side. And then we should be all good. So getting the right height level. Up the brush size. So we got to do it very loosely to begin with. And then bring down that brush size a tad. There we go. Well, that's all good for that. I'm going to sort out this little island. Bring that brush size up a bit more. There we go. Finalize all that. So back into play mode. I'm going to have to reset the sea level. But it brings a little bit... It's quite funky, that little section, isn't it? But I like it. So the highway will probably end up going across to this island. And then going straight out. But we'll just give it a minute, well, a couple of seconds. Not a minute or two, that's too long. And then once the water's kind of done what it needs to do, reset to sea level. And that should then disappear. And it should have done enough flooding to, yeah. That little section there is kind of under the sea level. We got a little bit coming back, but that's fine, that's fine. So, let's get back to business. And so now we know it's 64, sorry. If I go back for the normal 20, what is them separation gaps? Do you know what? 20 is not enough. So maybe 30? Right, we'll go with 30, and that's going to go pretty much straight out. Right, that one didn't work too well, but I'll sort that one out. So that is how that is going to be set up. So if I bring this straight across, even to there, I'll have to sort out the bridge on the other side because it's gone opposite. That's really weird. I suppose the mod can't always be perfect. Alright, to there. And then when it's get it to go across, so should be a lot of fun. You still find that hilarious, look at it. It's the complete opposite. Right. So if I first take a look at setting up the straight connection that would go over. Is it done the same on that one? Yeah. That's hilarious. And then alright, get that to kind of bend round. It's very loose while I'm doing, but it's just to kind of get it all up, connected, intertwined. And then we'll bring it a little bit closer. So, 64, Zoo Lane. If you ever watched that as a kid, let me know in the comment section down below. We'll bring this across. And I'll bring it quite close, so I've got all that room. And then we can say goodbye to the parallel mod. You have done us well. You have done us wonders. You saved us a little bit of time. Moments I could have pulled my hair out, but we're all good. And let me just scan to where I need to drop it in as well. Oh, and this bit over here. There we go. So we've got the inlet out there. All good, all good, all good. Let me just sort the bridge out because that is a monstrosity right now. Right, let me just get it where it's kind of first elevated. Do you know what? I think it'll just be easier to delete it and pull it back in. Because there's no way. There we go. The bridge is now the right way round. Wait, wasn't there another one? Oh yeah, it was over here. There we go. There we go, boys. Right, sweet, sweet, sweet. So that's pretty cool then. It kind of comes around, little sharp little bend there, but then brings itself over here. And then what we do is we have to kind of link it all up. So we'll start with this one first. So where would the snap be? 21. Hold on. That's 19. So go back a bit more. So 21 by 21. There we go. So that's all connected. And it's easier to do this one going back this opposite way. So where would that one then connect? That will be 30 by 24. So you've got to go back a little bit more. So 30 by 30. That's a long stretch, isn't it? There we go. Flipping it all around. Sweet, mate. That's all good. The highway is then connected. And we leave it as that. Okay? So the main point is, the highway is connected to go outside the region over there. Now, I could do simple stuff like have a road that goes directly over here to hook up to the highway, so these guys can jump straight on the highway to kind of bypass all of that. That is probably my easiest option right now. Or I could do my other option and bring this road over, and I can actually connect that road to this. But I'm still going to have to do a highway connection to get them all intertwined and connected. But yeah, that kind of leads us over, and that's where my highways kind of end. That's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? Now, should I do this connection to begin with, or should I see what happens with this additional traffic now coming in, whether it kind of slows down in other areas? But then when you look at all this traffic here, oh my goodness me, it's terrible, isn't it? It really is. So, the question is driving from here, going all the way through here to go up to there quicker than going through all of this? That is the question, isn't it? Because that's what determines whether, if I did place a road going across there, will vehicles come out there to go up there to get onto the highway to skedaddle? I don't know. And I have that feeling it's not going to be the case. So, right. If I get then my national road, which it would go in that kind of direction, wouldn't it? Let me just kind of pause for a minute. Right, delete that. So I know where... oh my goodness me, that's high. I don't know how that happened. Damn, boy. You're crazy. Right, align to object height of that. So then, you know, if I was to do something like that, that's a straight line going across. Just let me humour myself to kind of see how that plays out. So yeah, I could have that going straight across there, which does create a good connection potentially to the highway. Right, which what I could do here is we could delete this, bring that straight across like that. I gotta sort out those that little bump, that little speed bump, because that's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? And then I can like do a road that comes off here, goes straight under, and I can do a simple on and off ramped style. So if I just quickly oh no, don't rotate randomly. Got that like that. So that's all good then. So that will lead straight over, but at the minute it doesn't really go anywhere. And why don't do I connect it straight to this, or do I... because I've got to do like an on and off ramp thing here. I won't do it today because we don't really have anything going on, and I still don't know what kind of my road layouts are going to be. So do I just connect to that road and then they can drive down to where they need to get to? And if I did that, will they then still turn off there? That's the other question that I don't know. So many unknowns, but there's only one way to kind of find out these unknowns, and that's just to do it and then see what happens. So let me just go back to normal with this. So we bring this up by... I'll bring this up by... Actually, before I do that, let me create like a straight road that kind of goes under. Alright, we'll go to there. And then we'll 5 by 5, turn that in straight down. Now, if I deleted that back just a tad, that's still going to be a little bit too close. So what if I did like a little bit of a wiggle? A 9 by 9. A little bit of a wiggle there, just add a little bit of character. And then we can do it like a very, very basic on and off slip road style. So what we would normally do. And then if I just, at first, right. If I brought that to there. Ignore the mess that it's now about to cause. But I wonder if, or what would happen. On an a kind of like a little bended bridge like that. So ignore that it's not the right heights and stuff like that just from the get-go right now. But if I press play, obviously them vehicles right now are going to go straight to there, hit that road, off they go. But eventually I would want that connected to the highway system, so just ignore that for now. I just want to test something out. And then if we had the standard connection ready, so actually at the minute, the only way to get to here is by accessing that kind of area. Which is good in a way. But if they wanted to export up here, it's still a long-winded drive. So we've got to get our little on and off slip ramps. And right. Okay. So if we add one. So I do one. So that's by 7. By 7. By 7. By 7. So make them all elevated, which they are. And just bear with me on this, because it's going to be quite a shout right now to get this done. So 11. 11. 11. 11. Right. So bear with me. Let me just get them facing the right way first as well. So that should do the trick. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see right now how many vehicles use this little section. And it also could be as well that these are a little bit too high for this area. So what if I slightly drop that down, that middle section? So a reasonable. I've got to get rid of that little bit as well. Let me delete that. There we go. So a reasonable height, and then what we do is I select all these little points here leading up to there and to there to be aligned to that height, and then we take it back a little bit to where then we slope it down so they come down gradually. And then the same things happen with these, they then go up gradually. So I can get a better elevation change on all of this. So slope that a little bit better. Slope that a little bit better. Same with all this. Now from what I can see, yeah, they all want to use this. But what I can also see is people doing a U-turn, which I find really weird. And right. Let me just sort out now all this alignment, because some of it does look a little bit funky right now, especially over on this side. Right, I suppose it depends on what side you're looking at it from, isn't it? Yeah, but we'll just leave that for now then. And obviously we got issues and problems and whatnot that are trying to kind of bypass. We want vehicles to... right, how's this looking? Because we're all trying to lead out. I need to make sure that... well, everyone just wants to exit that way, don't they? It's a little bit... I think that junction's a little bit too close together. But what it shows us is... that not many vehicles want to go ahead, like head on. Unless these guys want to, they're just getting stuck behind the initial traffic leading into this area. Right, I'm just kind of like glancing over. I got to put some like asymmetrical roads down and stuff like that, 2-lane roads and whatnot. It's kind of bulk up the traffic in a way. Now, what if we didn't have this road? How many issues then would you think we have? So, not really much is going on. Oh, then again, there's a lot of vehicles coming down this way. So there is some benefit to it. In that sense. Or what if we just didn't have that connection? And this is just another bypass road. Nah, because then there's like no point in having it. You just might as well just get rid of it, right? And that could be a thing. What if we just got rid of that road? And to get over here is like all the other places. You got to drive over there. And then we only had this road as be the outlet road. Or would we then like see a lot more traffic issues arising? Maybe. I'm sure some of these guys right now are trying to do U-turns. I just have that feeling. Right, let's sort out the lanes then. So, how about we have it where we don't allow them to do that turn, but then again they're going to go out that way anyway. I'm just trying to think what the best method would be for us. Right, let me pause. Where are you actually going? Yeah, I thought some were turning around. They're leaving the city. Which makes no sense. But we had that issue before in Fishtown it was. Where people wanted to do that, and it was just really, really weird to why they wanted to do that. It is really, really weird. But what if I say to these guys here, right now, just do a right-hand turn, just so I can clear some traffic. I just want to ultimately see what happens. So I know I've got to turn that into a 4-lane road and whatnot. Splash out on the cash, get that traffic and moving, and they're gonna pretty much just go up there, round, and then come back down again and get back out again, which I find highly hilarious. But there's a lot of vehicles coming from this way to go down here as well. So what if I treated it as, rather than you can exit and go that way, we treat it as it's a solar you can come in from this way and exit that way? Because that's completely like a different vibe altogether at that point, isn't it? That really is. But we do have a lot of traffic. So it's kind of like a weird one. But for now, what I'll do, until I fully decide what I want to do with this area, because again, it might be a case of like what I did with this. Like I don't want to really do too much with this kind of monstrosity because I don't know how I'm going to build the town up. But we know we need from this road. The bypass is just fine right now. It's fine. But I need something over here. Now, what I could do is rather than have it on this island, I could make this road over here come over as a bridge to lead up to this area where it does like a connection there. That to me feels like the better option because then I'm making it even more long-winded to turn off to get over here, thus making them take the highway a little bit more. And what I eventually want to do is this kind of 2-lane highway road right now, 2-way road. I either want it to connect up to that road, or I am going to actually physically connect it to the highway system. That might be the option. Or make it just connect to this road. Make it look a little bit better, obviously. It'll be a 4-lane road to match this 4-lane road. We'll do the usual junction interchange section there where they can turn on and off the highway as normal, which should be pretty good. I mean, it's starting to see a lot more people now head in that direction. Actually, quite a lot of people, which is quite weird, isn't it? There's definitely a lot of people using this road. So that little backlog that we had is now like slowly starting to shift, which is good to see. This junction over here in its entirety is doing a fantastic job for us. I've got no issues with that. So yeah, it's kind of like a weird one, this, isn't it? It's a weird episode where we got a lot of stuff done, but we kind of didn't, if that makes sense. We kind of didn't. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it ticks along, but that for us might be the best option. I really think it would. So if I was to go down that road and get that there, and do I come off that point, or do I create? No, we'll come off that point, yeah. And if I was to bring that across, how about if I why is that in the air? Right, if I brought that kind of down like this, and then what type of... Right, it's a big shout. 40 by 37. So if I did that as a bridge to kind of bend us around, and I'll make this run almost semi-parallel with it. So it doesn't entirely connect straight away. Just so it does feel a lot more long-winded to get over to there. And then what if I just done a little T-junction like that? Right? Because I could then eventually pass that through to connect to the actual highway itself. But I wonder what would that do for us? You get the odd few vehicles using it and whatnot, but it's a lot slower method to get over here. We got our bypass highway, which is all good, and it gives these guys at the peninsula over here right now a really easy way to export goods. See, I'll see. I'll treat that as a little test, and we'll see what comes from it. But yeah, that's the problem when you got all this kind of system. You make a road a little bit too short, and everyone chooses to use that route because, again, it's the shortest route. But yeah, this will be such a better method when we get all this finalized. But there's a lot of vehicles using it. There is actually a lot of vehicles coming down here right now. Holy moly. There is a lot of vehicles. I think that's just that initial traffic that was backed up on there, wasn't it? I think that's what it is. So if I just get rid of the traffic lights here for now, just so I can get them to flow through a little bit easier. But then it really begs the question, I do need that highway connection, don't I? I really do. But how is this going right now? Yeah, there's a couple of vehicles. There's more, it looks like, no, I about to say there's more vehicles going out than coming in, but it's an even number. I don't see the huge stress on that road, so that should be okay. I'll do a better system over here, because I might do something over here to kind of jazz it up slightly. Yeah, but that's the initial traffic that was coming through that's kind of backed up. So I wonder if a lot of them will just kind of come up into the airport to go round, which I think they've just done. So they can maybe hit the highway or something like that. I don't know. But then again, there's a highway connection down there. It's interesting. I like the mind games that, like, you know, City Skyline throws up at you sometimes. But, yeah, there's an even number of vehicles coming in and out on that road. And I think there is no urgency to use that road. So I can kind of keep that as a little bypass route. And, yeah, to get over to this area. So, we'll see. I might eventually add a few more, like, little turn-off roads that lead in. Or whatnot. Because I feel like I need to take vehicles out more than I need to bring them in. So I could come off this road and create a little exit route. Yeah, exit routes, not inlet routes. That makes a little bit more sense to me. So yeah, it's thrown up a few little issues, a few little problems. But I like that. I like that we now have to try and problem solve them. But I might leave it for a few episodes anyway, because we've been working on this area quite heavily the last few episodes. And at some point, we do need to focus on building our farmland area, as well as filling up all the little nooks and crannies and little gaps within SnowTown to pretty much get them all finalised. We're on the way as well, guys, to 100,000 residents. So that should be coming fairly soon with a few more expansions. So I think we're going to end it for here. Until next time, guys. I'll see you all soon. So, good